Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The other counselors are passing out your forms, and time goes by fast that we are already talking about senior year. So kind of here we go. Guys, there's spots right here. There's like a whole row up here. And so we are just kind of hitting the highlights. Obviously, especially senior year, even though you've gone through this a couple of times, senior year it's a little bit more complicated. Because here's the positive about senior year is you've hit most of your core classes. And so we only require you to do so many, and I'll go over that here in a minute. And so there's a lot more choices for your electives. And so it's really good for you to kind of keep, looking at your different options and things like that. Okay. And I'm bad at going off slides. I don't like reading off things. Okay, here's kind of a big thing for these forms that you are getting. These forms are due back to your science teacher, and that is January 30th. So in February, okay, it's really important. I know we got papers going out and we're talking with our friends, but right now I'm going through about how all this works. It's pretty complicated, so make sure you're staying with me. So these forms, once you fill these out, once your parents and that you have signed them, you bring them to your science class. If you don't have a science class, you can drop them off to the counseling office. That's fine. We will call you down if you don't have a schedule. Okay? So January 30th to your science class. This kind of section is just kind of highlighting some new classes that we're offering. All of the course offerings, see that big QR code that's on the front of your form? Obviously, we don't have our phones on us, so don't do that. But at home, you can scan that with your phone, and then it's going to pull up, we call it our course guide. That goes through, if you see a class like AP Research that's new, and you want to know more information about that, the course guide goes, can we make sure that we're not, like if I'm distracted, people around you are distracted? Thank you. So the course guide goes through more in depth of what I'm talking about today, so then that way you'll have more information about the courses that we offer. Mr. Vermeer and his classes, they've put together as well some videos that go through kind of a little bit more in depth as well. That might help you kind of hear more about the classes, see if that's interesting to you, things like that. So some of you all might be in AP Seminar, and so you know about this. If you're in AP Seminar, you can take AP Research. That's a new class that's in the English Language Arts Department. This is new as well for the AP Seminar and the AP Research courses. So if you score a 3 or higher on your AP Seminar and your AP Research kind of like portfolio and the exam that you do, you can earn what's called a AP Capstone, and that basically goes on your diploma. That would look good for colleges that you're applying for, your application, things like that whenever you're applying for schools, which will be fall of 27. So that's coming up pretty fast. If you're not in AP Seminar or AP Research, this really wouldn't apply to you. But if you're a student that you're wanting to do that, once again, this is in the course guide. This will go more in depth. Obviously, you can talk to your teachers or your counselors, and we'll tell you more about that. So, some of you all might have taken Construction 1, you're in Construction 2 already. So obviously, we are going to continue growing the construction department, and so we will offer Construction 3 next year. So you can kind of continue on with that. And yes, you all kind of know this. You can't jump into Construction 3 without taking Construction 2, things like that. And then we're finally here. We've been working on this for a few years. We're offering Aviation 4. And so once again, that's kind of one of those programs that we offer that kind of continues on if you started that freshman year, sophomore, junior, and then now senior year with Aviation 4. This is a new class that we are starting in our business department. And so this is Fundamentals of Administrative Technology. So you all have we're kind of changing a lot of different things as we're adding like career tech and things like that. But if you've taken Fundamentals of Technology, that's a prerequisite for like every class in the business department. And so Fundamentals of Administrative Technology is kind of really that next class. And then you can move on to some other things. Once again, the course guide, the videos, they talk more about that as well. This is a new elective, Digital Art and Design. This is obviously in the art department. And so if that is an interest to you as well, once again, this information on the slides is literally from the course guide. So on that QR code, once again, this gives you more information for that. Okay, now we're kind of to the nuts and bolts of what we need to do on this paper. You all kind of know this. We've been doing this for a few years. This is exactly how we did it last year, and so it will be pretty similar. If you look through, you must choose at the end of all of this, this should equal 7 credits. So yes, as a senior, there will be people that you need 23 credits to graduate in the state of Oklahoma. Some of you all are going to be over 23 credits, and that is okay. Every single senior at Bartlesville High School has to be enrolled in 7 classes. So you need to think through, as you are filling out this worksheet, and as the counselors, as we come by your science classes in February, we have to put in basically 7 classes, or what equals 7 credits, right? So if you look on here on your paper, everyone needs to take an English. So you would choose, do I want to take English 4, or do I want to take AP Literature? Some of you all might, ask me, but Mr. Harp, I'm planning on doing concurrent, and I want to do Comp 1 and Comp 2. I don't need to know that on this worksheet right now. All concurrent goes as an alternate. So our system, Power School, aesthetically called Power Scheduler, it doesn't know if you want to take concurrent. Mrs. May, myself, Mr. Wolf, we have to manually change that. Power Scheduler is going to put you in either English 4 or AP Lit. And so that's what I need to know in February to put that in there, okay? As a senior, if you do not want to take English on campus, that's fine, but you'll be doing Comp 1 and you'll be doing Comp 2. So you do Comp 1 in the fall, you'll do Comp 2 in the spring. We will have all of our college kind of partners come out in the spring. It is really important. Concurrent has become very popular. These classes like Comp 1 and Comp 2, because this is what you have to think about. You are not enrolling in classes just with Bartlesville students. You're enrolling in classes with Owasso, Bigsby, Norman, like statewide. And so it's very, very important when you need to be watching Canvas like a hawk in February and March, because we will have Tulsa Community College come out, we'll have Rogers State come out, we'll have OSU come out, we'll have Oakwood come out. You need to enroll this spring. This is not something that you're emailing us in July saying, you know what, I think I'm going to take Comp 1 this fall. That ship has probably already sailed, and you've already kind of missed it. So it's really important right now. I know it seems so early. It's literally, January 20th, and we're already talking about the fall. It's because it happens really fast, and lots of students are wanting certain spots. So it's really important that you keep that in mind. Yes, we are making all students take 4 credits in math. And so you need to look through on those classes of which one that you would want to take. Yes, technically you could do concurrent as well for that. Science, here's the nice thing about science. Technically, you could be done. But you need to see, we're kind of moving to career pathways. We're not quite there yet with you all. But you need to think about, okay, I think I want to be a doctor. I think I might want to be a nurse. I think I want to be a vet. Shouldn't you probably take science as a senior? Or I want to be an engineer. I see Miss Nullmeyer back there. I want to be an engineer. If you're taking science off as a senior, that's probably not a great idea. Hopefully you're taking some of those AP advanced courses of getting you prepared for what college would be like. Here's something that, seeing Miss May kind of walk around a little bit and stuff that we do this on a daily basis. You all this summer are going to start applying for college. Colleges look at the courses that you take as a senior. So if some of you, raise your hand if you think you might be going to college. Every single person in here, well, you have to do math now. That's changed. So everyone that raised their hand should be taking math. You probably need to think about what science class do I need to take, either concurrently or AP as well, for you to be better, ready to be successful for whenever you're graduating from here and then starting those classes in the fall. Plus, you want some credit with you as well, right? Social studies, government, or AP government, once again, you might say, I want to do that concurrently. You've got to choose government or AP government because we have to manually change all of that stuff. And then the next part is just basically like electives, okay? So when you go through every single thing, if you see the 1.0, that means a credit. If it's a 0.5, that means it's going to be a semester. It's going to be a half credit. Everything needs to equal to 7. Or we cannot fully enroll you whenever we're coming by in February. You might also be asking me, but wait, I know that my brother or my friend that's a senior, they got a study hall. Study hall is something that we have to manually put in like in August. So most seniors that we see, you have to go in August when your schedule comes out. You're going to go to the counseling office. You're going to fill out a paper, and you might want to get out of an elective for like your study hall or whatever. We have to manually put that in. So do not be shocked. I don't know if you can hear him, and also with our video up there, what the other Mr. Harp was saying is the counselors, before we give you a study hall, we need to make sure that you're going to get to that 23, make sure you pass all your course, and making sure that your grad sheet that we use for the state of Oklahoma, that you've met all those requirements, and that a study hall is a privilege, and it's just not, some random thing that you get to go run around the high school to do. Okay, I don't like a script, so I'm kind of bad with this. So this is just kind of reiterating of what I kind of basically said. This is what we have to check of one of the things before you get a study hall, is making sure, did you get 4 credits in English? Did you get 4 credits of math? Your 3 science? Your 3 social studies? Those 9 credits of elective pathways? And then everything has to equal to that magic number of 23 credits. I've already gone over this. These are just kind of some like the electives in the fine arts. I talked about that new course that they're offering in the fine arts. This is kind of a biggie for you all that comes up as a senior, is there's still time for Tri-County. If you're somebody that maybe you didn't get in for whatever reason, or you're still interested in Tri-County, those applications, I think they're open. You have to go to Tri-County's website and go through that. They've already had their open house. They're going to be on campus January 30th, I believe, in the counseling office. They've kind of changed how they did their application to where you need to really do a good job on your application. It's like the questions they ask about you so you can get a spot. Because the nice thing about as a senior, you can still kind of do that 1 year free as a student, and then you just need to do the 1 year as an adult. And they offer scholarships. So maybe if you're interested in like cosmetology or culinary, that's very popular, you could still get a spot. I think they're also the new EMT program. That was something they emailed us about. That's still new, and that is something that if you're interested in like, you know, being a paramedic or a firefighter or whatnot, you've got to do that. Internships. I'm already getting emails from you all about internships. So on your sheet, this is new for us this year, you can count as the internship as part of your 7. Okay? But here's the kicker. We started a little bit late, so I'm going to go over a little bit. With internships, that would count as 2 spots on your 7. Yeah, it's Mr. Vermeer's advisory. Internship takes 2 out of your schedule. Okay? So you really need to make sure, here's kind of the big thing that I want you to kind of hit on this. What happens a lot of times as seniors is we want everything, and that's not realistic, right? You need to think about, when you leave Bartlesville High School, that's the whole idea, this whole career pathway idea, is what do you want to do when you graduate? That's the type of classes that you need to be in. So if you're going to go to college to be an engineer, you need to go take the classes that's going to prepare you to be an engineer. Like you should be in calculus. You should be in physics. If you want to be a chemical engineer, you probably should be taking AP chemistry. You need to be taking the classes for you to be successful. And so with the internship, you can mark that you're going to be an intern, okay? But how that's going to look, and I'll be honest with you, we're kind of still figuring it out a little bit. We will probably call you back into this space and kind of go through a little bit more of like, okay, we saw that you all chose to be an intern, but then what internships would you be interested in? And we kind of give out information about what internships are kind of available and kind of start that way, okay? I know in the past, and maybe if you were talking with another counselor about certain things, about Conoco and P66 and all that kind of stuff, that is not happening this month. It's probably not even happening next month, okay? So that whole process is going to look a little bit different. Now, is it a good idea for you to go ahead and get a resume ready to go for applying for some of these internships and things like that? Yes, go for it. That's great. But right now, we are worried about what 7 classes are you going to take as a senior and turning that into your science teacher, and we're going to have that conversation later on, okay? Yeah, they have their own process. So they're actually kind of starting a new process as well, and then we're going to kind of adapt to their process a little bit too. I remember now what I was going to say. You cannot do internship, Tri-County, employment skills, and all this stuff. It won't work. You need to think about what you actually want to do. So if you're in the internship program, you're kind of in the internship program, you're probably not going to be able to do internship and Tri-County. Okay? Alrighty. And then obviously the athletic stuff, I think we kind of know about all that now. Basically, final reminders, you have to sign it, parents need to sign it, and then turning this in to your science teacher January 30th. Okay, any other things before? On your nursing program and stuff, yes. Yeah. Yeah, and I think the biggest thing of what he's trying to say, I think we're all kind of saying the same things. And Mrs. May was reminding me something else too. I think the big thing about senior year is it's the most complicated when it comes to enrollment. The nice thing is you all have lots of choice, which is great. I think the whole idea though is you really need to finalize what your choice is and then what you want to like accomplish. So like you already know if you're like in that nursing program and stuff at Tri-County that yes, an internship goes along with your coursework. I think what I'm trying to say is sometimes kids want like everything. It's like a buffet and you want a little bit of every single thing. That's just not reality. And then sometimes kids will get mad at us when we tell them the word no. Y'all don't like the word no very much. And so that's just kind of like my reminder. Something else, this does not apply to very many people, but students that are in AP Lang, if you pass that AP Lang test, unfortunately, yes, you still have to take English 4 with us, or that is where if you want to work with like a college partner or whatnot, you send them that AP score, they give you the Comp 1 credit, and then you take Comp 2. You still have to take English 4 as a high school credit. So we run into that quite a bit to where it's great. As a former AP teacher, getting that credit's amazing, but going back to these slides, there's certain things that Oklahoma makes us do, okay? The biggest thing, choosing 7 classes, 7 credits. Most likely, I'm just gonna be honest with you, in August, we're gonna have to change things. It's not going to be perfect. We're going to, especially if you're an internship, we have to kind of make it fit into your schedule. If you meet the qualifications, you may or may not get a study hall if it fits. We do the best that we can to get to what you need, okay? All right, I believe if you have your backpacks, you get a second hour. That was second hour, so bye, hurry.